Got it. So happy New Year. We thought, why not kick off the first team meeting of the year with Shanna and myself, right?
Happy New Year.
Yeah, and we didn't think anybody would be in this room, so the fact that you all are here, that's awesome.
I mean, I thought maybe 3 of you.
Yeah, but she was like getting pinned. She was like, I have like 5, and I was like, that's not enough. So anyway, so happy New Year, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. Okay, so favorite part of the meeting, say hi to 2 people you don't know. If you're online, send them a direct message and send 2 on chat. Ready? And hands in uniform.
I'm Sarah. I know we met before. I'm like, I don't know each other. But I'm like, I'm bad at remembering names. I'm like, look, hey, hi.
Moves up here.
Side note, if you're looking for a fun game to play with your family, Happy Salmon. Get it? You will not regret it. It's a little card game. Takes 60 seconds or less. We've decided every Monday after our hour-long team meeting, we're gonna start the day with Happy Salmon because it's fun, a lot of energy, so much fun. So Happy Salmon. Highly
And it's
recommend.
not hard. Like,
No, it's not.
my son can play it. It was super easy.
It's really fun. It's just like, whew, a lot of recommend.
Yes, I'm
I'm
into
gonna
it.
tell your son you just said that.
No, he likes to invent the game rules himself, and so this was super easy for him to follow.
Yep. Okay, so let's start off with our vendors. Adam.
Yeah, Adam McGrath with Comparion Insurance Agency, and we always appreciate getting help your home buyers figure out their insurance options.
And you're all over the place, aren't you?
I'm all over the place.
What does that mean?
Like, you can go anywhere.
In Missouri.
In
Oh,
Missouri,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah, so we're licensed on, in Missouri and all the surrounding states, yes.
He's cloned himself. Okay, Anton.
Yes, Anton with Community Mortgage Brokers. We're also licensed in surrounding states and like some Florida, other, states you can think of, so reach out.
Awesome. Cool. Nicole, is there anyone online?
No, there is not. And just a reminder, 2024 vendor program has started. So if you know of any vendors that you think would be great for our vendor program, please send them my way, and then I will send them our brochure.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Okay, Haley. Do you want to come up here?
Come up.
She's
So
like,
the
nah.
interwebs can see
Yeah.
you.
So we get a lot of questions a lot of the time. Hey, I need help with marketing, or hey, can I get help with signs, or maybe a closing gift or TC? Yeah, the camera can only see right here. So Haley's gonna come up and tell us about Onward.
Hello, everybody. Just a reminder, Onward, we do transaction coordination, marketing management, sign running, and closing gift baskets by the amazing Mockingbird Designs.
So
Girl
good.
Tish over there. So for this week's tip from a TC, Megan said to remember if your client is doing a wire transfer to make sure it's done at least 2 to 3 days in advance for closing, because it might take a while to process. And we want to make sure all the funds are there for closing day.
Yeah, and if you don't know, Haley is also one of our TCs. She's transitioned into the role and she's rocking it. So we're super excited. So if you have any questions about any of these services, they're 100% a la carte. You can pick or choose. Just come upstairs and we can let you know.
Yep.
Okay,
Great,
thanks,
thank
Hales.
you.
Thank you. Thanks, Hales. Okay, so let's talk about our mission. Yes. Oh no, the Stanley.
That went down hard.
I didn't have the bug stopper on.
Oh.
And he was trying to quietly come in.
Everybody say hi to
Mindy. So what is our mission?
To build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving.
Which one is your favorite line out of that?
Legacies.
Oh, why is that?
Because I never thought about anything further than just my immediate future. Even after having kids, I after coming to KW, I realized it's not just like what you can leave behind, but what you leave in them. And so legacies is my favorite.
I love that. Okay, so this, last week, was it 2 weeks ago? I can't remember what time it is, like, that's been, what day of the week is it? Our culture winner was Ashlyn Blaylock, and she's not here with us today, so do you wanna say what Ashlyn has said about her culture winner?
Yes, Culture Winner is a group, a pair of people, and they have a great wealth of real estate knowledge and are so positive and encouraging always. They are a great example of KW culture. Thank you to Tyler and Samantha Richardson.
Yay! So we're gonna give you your phone numbers. Today is also Samantha's birthday, so if you say congratulations, make sure you tell her happy birthday. Samantha's phone number is 417-849-9928. 417-849-9928. Also, I'm gonna give you Tyler's because I'm sure he loves 1,000 text messages if you know Tyler Richardson. And his phone number is 417-773-5168. Tell them congratulations on being this week's Stepis Award. So super exciting. Woo-hoo. Can't wait to see all those messages come through. So broker moment. Jim or Dawn is not in here.
You're all
Okay.
behaving.
So a couple of the things.
I'm
that
here.
is- Oh, hello, Dawn from the sky. What do you have to tell us today?
Well, I'm sure this will go out later today, but I just want to make sure everybody is aware that we did have some forms updates that occurred that are now in effect. So we will get that email out to everybody that you can actually click on the link and it'll take you to show you exactly what has changed. But you need to make sure that if you have templates or whatever set up, that you are updating those templates with the updated version of the forms, because technically your contracts won't be valid if they're not on the new paperwork. I'm sure there'll be some transition time because there always is, but the sooner you get that done, the better off you're going to be, because I don't want you to have a contract that is valid and then someone say, well, we're not going to move forward with this because you didn't use the correct paperwork. So we'll get that out today. I think Nicole has that in her inbox already. So if not, Nicole, let me know, but I think she's already got that and we'll get that out to everybody. So everybody just watch for an email today. I know we get a lot of them, but this one, just pay attention and make sure that you make notes in your files.
Yep, thank you, Dawn. And we actually do have a link and a slide to talk about that, because they also provide a red line version, so you can go through each of those contracts. In DocuSign, if you use DocuSign, they automatically update all of the MAR forms. So you don't have to worry about anything. Missouri Association of Realtors, they automatically update that. If you use dotloop or you're paying for some other e-signature platform that is not DocuSign or maybe Form Simplicity provided by the board, you will need to update that on your own. So I know some people that maybe use dotloop and they pay for dotloop. Dotloop may do that, but you need to check with dotloop, and we don't have a contract with dotloop, so we can't tell you if they are updating it or not. So just a side note for that. Awesome. Thank you, Dawn. Okay,
Oh, so many great events, guys.
so many. What do we have going on in January?
Well, if you notice, there's some fire coming from the bottom of this month. That's Ignite, and we're doing a little different this time around. So it would be a really good opportunity if you haven't taken Ignite in a long time. They did redo the material about a year ago, 2 years ago now. It's going to be great. We've got some links coming out, and we've got some amazing teachers facilitating this round.
What are we doing this year different to Ignite?
Let me tell you what we're doing different. Ignite's great because you get to hear from all these different instructors, but every day is a different instructor. So you're going through an entire topic that's 4 to 5 days long, but you're not getting the same message, the same delivery. So it gets a little bit harder to follow. So now it's broken into 4 sections, and you're going to have 1 instructor per section. So there should be a little more cohesiveness to Ignite and a little easier to follow, and great building of relationships throughout the process.
So for instance, we would have 1 facilitator teaching the entire week. So
Yeah.
Monday through Friday will be the same person.
Yeah, so for instance, Amy Hunsaker Williams is going to be teaching this week right here.
She just went to the restroom.
Oh, she's right there.
Okay, perfect.
I see you. I know where she is at all times. I have tracking on her. And we've got some other really great people. We've got Cassandra Jones. We've got
Guy Calloway.
Guy Calloway. I wanted to call him Cheesy.
Oh,
Personal joke. It's really funny. He'll tell you all about it. Denise
Maybe
Knight
not.
and Blake Cook. So we've got some really great people really devoted to coming in and kicking this year off strong. So if you know somebody who just needs an extra push or a little bit back to basics, it's still super cool to go back to basics.
so we did a little something different with our training calendar this year. I want to make sure we point out. So at the top, you can see it says Lead Gen, Tech, Core, Masterminds, and Wealth. What we have done is we've systematized it so every Monday is going to be Lead Gen focused classes. Every Tuesday it is going to be our tech classes. Every Wednesday will be core, Thursdays will be masterminds, Fridays will be wealth. So this will help kind of create a system so you know whatever day of the week it is, that's the kind of class you can expect going on in the training center. So for instance, on Mondays, actually starting next Monday, we're doing a couple of things. One, we're starting Model Monday. So 9 a.m. down in the training center, what we're going to do, it's going to be a quick 30-minute class. We're going to pick a model out of the red playbook provided to us, and we're going to go through that model. So every Monday will be a different model. In the playbook, we're going to start first with the database assessment, and then we'll get more into the lead gen. And because since we have a couple of people that completed those pages, they're going to come in here and talk about it as well. So Model Monday, and then also
Right after that.
right after that, we're going to kick it into the lead gen, which is the Tabata classes that we've had before. And we had great results at our last
Great results.
Tabata.
We had 4 people in attendance and they booked 16 new appointments. It works. The energy was good, it was fun, and I'll tell you what, going for 20 minutes on and 10 minutes off, it's magic. So do you want to book 16 new appointments? Come on in.
Okay.
I dare you.
I dare you. Road routes this week. Next week, we are doing a luxury home tour, and Susan Heron is heading that up. So if you have questions about luxury homes or you want to know different bits and pieces about luxury homes, please join us for that home tour. We will have our first 2024 ALC meeting next week. I'm super excited. We have an amazing group of people that will be a part of it. Nixa Mastermind, which is the happy hour that we're hosting. And then admin mastermind on the 25th, which is a Thursday. So to stay in with our theme. Last thing that's not on the calendar, but this will kind of be like Model Monday where it'll happen every week. Fridays at 9 o'clock, we are doing wealth building. So we are tying in Mark King's Wealth Building 2.0. So if you're not part of that Facebook group, I'd highly recommend. It's free. Mark King runs it every Friday morning at 7:30. He's hopping on for a 30-minute call about wealth building through Zoom. We are going to take that call, bring it here, either rewatch it and or discuss the things that were talked about in that. So feel free to come, show up, 9 o'clock. Colton Mose, Blake Cook, and myself will be here every Friday. So we hope that you can be a part of that as well.
That's super exciting.
Checked both of the things off my list I forgot to
Yes,
mention.
there we go. I was watching.
Okay, so things about the calendar. TCPA. So this is a real thing right now. So we have had, and I've talked to some people that they accidentally called one person. They thought their, the dialer said they cross-reference it with do not call list. Well, apparently it didn't do not call. So that's a whole other conversation with the dialer company. However, if you do use a dialer, make sure you are having conversations with them that if they're referencing in it. So they called this, this guy, he called and said, hey, I'm on the do not call list. He said, take me off. They said, okay, great. Well, they called again, accidentally went to the cell phone. First was landline, which I didn't think people saw landlines. And then it went to the cell phone. So then the guy was like, hey, I just told you. So please, there is seriousness happening right here in our local area. So keep that in mind for your calls.
You know who's not on the do not call list?
Who?
People that you're in real life relationship with.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Just saying.
Yep. So here's our Growth Galore first quarter team meeting schedule. So today, new year, new you. Next week, Julie Lachey, Israel. I am so excited about this. She will be zooming in. However, she is like over all of diversity, equity, and inclusion at KWRI. And she has all these different classes, and that she'll come and kind of give us a good perspective of what we need to know when talking with our clients. One of the big things that we need to be aware of is the language that we're using and how we make sure that the language we're using does not come across offensive to anybody else. So for example,
I said guys earlier.
you said guys. There are
did.
females in this class as well. Maybe they didn't like that. So just different mannerisms that you need to make your saying. So you all or y'all, different things like that. So great person that we're excited to have on Zoom. So then as you can see, take a picture of this and we'll send it out as well.
Good stuff. Ew, board dude.
Board dues are here. So if you have not received an email or a call from someone on leadership and you haven't renewed yet, just expect that this week. So we are calling everybody to make sure that you know it is board renewal time. This does not automatically renew like your monthly fees. You have to go manually into the portal and click pay for your annual fees or call the board, but you can easily do it online. It's $538 and that needs to be completed by January 31st, or you'll get a $50 late fee. If it's not paid by February 29th, your license unfortunately will be sent back to the state, the GSBOR policy for how that goes.
And then Jim gets all your listings.
Jim gets all your listings and he becomes our top performer. So just make sure you know that.
Ooh, yeah, don't.
we are about to head to Vegas in February. So we're so excited.
Vegas, baby.
I'm really scared
Not a
for
lot
this.
of, not a lot of Preds fans in here, okay?
Really scared for Shanna in Vegas. Just kidding. More so Landon.
Yeah, Landon.
So the keynote speakers, we will have Mel Robbins and Tony Robbins. Do you all know who Mel Robbins and Tony Robbins is? Yes. Do you listen to their podcast? So actually in Mel's podcast 2 weeks ago, she mentioned that in 2024, 2023 was not her intention for her business to blow up to the level it did. So 2024, she's really trying to prioritize family. That being said, this will be the only speaking engagement she takes on in 2024. And she mentions it in her podcast that Keller Williams is the only place that she will be presenting. So this is your opportunity to see the Mel Robbins in person. I thought it was so cool. Someone had pointed that out to me as we were listening through her podcast, but then also Tony Robbins and then Gary Keller as well. So you can still sign up if you would like to attend. There's the link if you'd like to. If you are a MAPS Mastery client, this is the Mastery event. You should have gotten an email. If not, feel free to take a picture of it. DJ War and Peace is back, and it will be at the House of Blues. So I have no idea where that's at. I've never been to Vegas, so it should be interesting.
It's in Vegas somewhere.
It's in Vegas, yeah. Oh, at Mandalay? Oh, that's perfect. 'cause
Is it
that's where-
really?
Okay.
We don't ever have to leave the hotel, guys.
Yeah. So
Friends.
how's the market? So
Try.
see you next week. Last week and compared. So look at this. Last week we had 14 homes that went pending in 1 day or less. This last week we had 1. Did you all feel a weirdness this last week just because of the holidays and no one knew what day it was? Did anyone have? Yeah, nobody was working. It was kind of quiet here last week, which it was like, hello, is anyone gonna hang out with us?
I just walked through the halls. It was very lonely.
Yeah, so this is the information. We have SOMO, GSBR, East Counties and North Counties. New listings, last week, 194. This week, 107. GSBR is 58, and last week it was 117 new listings compared to 58.
Wow.
As we go through active residential GSBR, we're starting out this week with 1,366. The last time that we were at 1,300 would have been, still looking, 2019?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're still seeing an uptick in the listings as we go through. Mike does send this out every week, so if you'd like a copy of it, please let us know, but he also puts it on the internal page as well. Realtor Weekly, you get this every week in your email. However, a couple things to note, your monthly MLS fees is increasing from $45 to $47.50. And then the admin fees, even if you have admin access, it will also increase from $25 to $27.50. So if you're reconciling your bank accounts, you see those charges look a little different, that's exactly why.
Ooh, MLS 101. MLS, we don't really teach it here because it's a board program. It's not a KW program. So you'll definitely want to check out the MLS 101 on January 29th from 1:30 to 3:30. It's a free refresher and you get a fine coupon. So when you make a boo-boo, they're gonna give you a coupon to make it better.
Start off 2024 strong.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to learn to say 2024.
Yeah.
So Women's Council of Realtors, they have their first event for this year. It'll be January 11th at 11:30. And they're gonna go over the economic housing outlook market. So Teresa Sampaio and Jeff Pinkerton. So.
Try again?
Oh, I thought you were talking to me. I was like,
try
I'm
again.
trying. I don't know how to say her last name.
I tried to buy a ticket.
She
for
tried to
this
buy tickets this
and
morning.
sold out.
Oh, really?
Really?
It's sold out?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
This is for the MLS. That.
Uh,
So bad.
Oh, wow.
If you maybe email Nancy Evans and see if there's a wait list or something you can get on, because Nancy oversees that.
Ooh, that was fast.
So here is the link and Nicole put it in the chat. Here is the forms revisions page. So for MAR, all of the red line copies, standards forms, make sure you're just using the approved forms as we move forward into this year. Okay, new year, new you. Let's do it, Shan.
Probably curious why we have this blank pages on your blank pages here, Corey. You came in late, I'm gonna call you out. A blank slate for, oh yeah, you need one too. Blank slate for 2024. Does anybody do reflecting at the end of the year and start to think about what's important about what you just came from and where you're going?
I think the biggest thing I've realized is that I always do goal planning for the next year, but I never stop to reflect what went really well or what did I learn in this last year. As you're always going forward, do you ever take the time to think and realize like, man, I really did do these things, or man, I learned a lot, or this was a struggle, or something I'm creating self-awareness about in myself from it.
Absolutely. I'd like to work on this starting in like November and December. But then there's a lot of people who don't, and they may be just hearing this for the first time or thinking about it. So if you've already kind of played along in this game of reflection, I'm still gonna urge you to put things down here. Week to week, you change, things become important. What was important to me last week is less important to me this week, perhaps. So
How many of you do a word of the year? Do you guys pick a word that you will, yeah? Does anyone want to share their word that they've picked for the year?
I have not done it because I'm actually hosting a workshop.
I love that. That's cool.
So if you want to know more, you can come.
Okay, Amy?
Emerge.
Emerge. Ooh, tell us more.
Well, I don't know yet.
Okay.
It'll be revealed to me. I don't know. Honestly, I pray over mine and it comes to me. And this one has a little bit of significance because it was a word that was shared with me recently. And then that's just really what I felt was supposed to be my word. So I'll find out what it means for me as I go through the year.
I love that.
and I love the word of the year. I think when I'm losing focus on where I'm going or what I'm doing, I reflect back on that. And it's kind of what carries me through. One year I chose grateful, and great things and abundant things happened to me that year because I focused on being grateful for the things I had. Last year was intentionality. And guess what, guys? I was super intentional and we had a great year. So
Last year, funny enough, my word was flourish.
Mine was too.
What was it?
Mine
Flourish?
was also flourish.
interesting. Shameless plug.
Yeah, but it was, again, it comes full circle in a whole way. This year, my word is clarity.
It's a good one. It's a powerful word.
Yeah, just to create clarity in all things and have a right path of where I need to go. Yep.
Yeah.
So
When's your workshop?
The 11th, next Thursday night.
next Thursday night, where is it at?
Right now, it's in the Nixa Library, but we may have to move it here if it's open, just how many people come sign up for it.
Okay, cool.
So what are these papers for, Rach?
Yes, so, in one of the podcasts I was listening to, they gave 6 questions to ask yourself as you're reflecting on 2023 in the year. So the first question is, what is something you are proud that you accomplished in 2023?
So this is your prompt to go ahead and start writing.
Yeah, sorry. So there's
Gotta
two
give
pieces of paper.
instructions.
One is a blank piece that we can go through and work on these questions. And then the other one we'll get to. But the first one is, what is something that you are proud that you accomplished? And if there's anybody online that either has a word that they want to share, or if they. Yes, you bet. Future realtor.
I know.
She gave me a pen. So what is something you are proud that you accomplished? The next question is, what have you overcome this year? I think in the busyness of life, we don't realize how strong of a person we actually are until you go through something maybe trialing and then you realize your strength, but you're a lot stronger than you give yourself credit for. Whoever Samsung SM, they put their word as positivity. If you want to put your name in the chat, Samsung, that'd be great to know. Positivity. Love that. Number 3, what was an unexpected joy this past year? Ooh, that's a good one.
That is good. It makes you really think. We're so primed to think of the negative and find the negatives first. This is great to reflect on the positivity and the joy.
And I think that goes a lot in your environment. Just what are you consuming on a daily basis? What are you listening to? Who are you around? And what are they speaking into you? It was interesting, Trey and I actually had this conversation the other day, and the news came on and said, here's our 2023 recap. And every single thing was negative. And he goes, if I consume this all the time, how would I feel? So what was an unexpected joy? Number 4, what did you learn about yourself this last year? Yeah. Big discovery here. Love that. Number 5, this is probably my favorite question. What do you need to let go of in the new year? What is no longer serving you, your word of the year, your life's mission, your purpose? Or maybe it's just like something.
Eating out.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I could ever let that go all the way. Let's be honest.
It can be as deep or as surface level as you want to make it, but there
Nicole's
is
word is
something
grace.
to let go of. Make room for the new good.
And it could just be the fear of feel like you're behind, or you're comparing yourself within business or life or family. Yeah. And then number 6, what do you need to create more space for? What is serving you? And you need to make sure you have more time of that. Maybe it's time to sit and reflect. Maybe it's time to go on a walk. Maybe it's more family experiences. What do you need to create more space for? Ooh, we should have played some like
I
music.
know, I was thinking about that, but I was like, I'd be fumbling around.
Should have Amy come up here and give us some yoga,
Some yoga music.
Yep.
Anybody get anything that it's surprised, like you look at this paper and you're a little bit surprised by what you wrote? Don't worry, I won't call on you, but
I'm not surprised, but I'm glad. The number 2, what have I overcome? Imposter syndrome.
that's a big one.
It's a great self-awareness too, of being able to recognize that.
And that will serve you, and you do need to create more space for that. Anybody else?
Mine was number 3, the unexpected joy this year. Literally was this office. Like, I'm not even joking. I know that's like so sappy and so like
Corey.
cliche, but it is like I could cry. Like every single agent in this office is out for each other, not self-centered. And that creates a market center that is unmatchable, unduplicable. And it's so cool. So that one I did not expect this year.
That's amazing.
I want to piggyback on what she's saying. Like, I was sitting here listening to the meeting, and this happens every time I meet somebody new. Like, I've got that heart of like, when I meet somebody, I'm like, oh, I would love to help them. How can I help them? And every time I come to these team meetings, I think, gosh, these people need to come to these team meetings. Like, this would make an impact on their lives. And the thought that I have, or knowing that I think that every time I come, I'm like, why do I not come sometimes? Like,
We
I
miss
should be
you.
here every time.
Yeah. And it's interesting that you both say that. And again, this is not something to like be in a braggy way, but we actually had an agent that took a recruiting call with another brokerage just to see what they had to do. And it was like, hey, we want you to come and like be a part of this franchise. And in their pitch to them, they said, everything we're gonna say does not correlate to your office because your office is an anomaly. Nothing that we can say is really gonna match this because your office is completely different. As a whole though, maybe somewhere else, let's talk about that. And so I thought it was interesting that even in a recruiting pitch deck, that's what they choose to say. Thank you for the transparency, and that's exciting. And also I have these like blinders on as we go through our day, and our schedule gets so busy that I don't take the time to stop and say, what is the one thing that I could like invite someone to that could change their life? Like, what if I went and saw an agent that I knew that just bought their first investment property and said, come join us every Friday for wealth building. Or you have a large amount of debt, great, come to wealth building so we can create a plan so you can live debt free. Or maybe it's, hey, we have this lead gen, just come and be a part of a community and let's lead gen together and get 4 appointments. Yeah, it's crazy. And so it's just we have so many trainings available to us. Are we plugging into them? Are we maximizing that? Because I always tell people when I meet with them, as much as you put in a KW, you will get 10X. And I say that all the time, but I truly believe it's true because I've seen KW change so many people's lives when they just choose to put both feet in and be where their feet are.
Yeah, these events and these things, these classes, these are great opportunities for you to bring in those people like Mindy's talking about and say, hey, come check this out.
And yes, we like to have fun. We should have fun, right?
Yeah.
And there's an aspect in it. It's the people you get to meet. So sometimes I talk to people and they're like, I don't really want to go to family reunion or mega camp because it seems like just like one big party or just overwhelming. And the thing that changes everybody's perspective or their life is like the evenings when we just can go get a drink or have dinner together. It's those conversations that you get to have outside of the convention halls where you really get to meet people, understand where they're at, and find that connection and relationship that it's a bond that you have now moving forward. So that's why I feel like it's so important to go to those events. Like, it's great because you're gonna go and it's gonna be a little overstimulating, but you'll maybe find one or two pieces that you could bring back and truly implement into your business and change the trajectory. But it's the people you get to go with and interact with and have dinner with and break bread with and just really get to know them. That's where the value of that is, because you're outside of your element. You're not saying I have to go run these errands. You get to be there and be present. That's my favorite part.
I concur.
Okay, so the next part of our exercise. Oh, just kidding, it's not a slide. Okay, just kidding. Did I? We didn't create the slide.
No, we can create a slide for this.
So,
Part 2.
in bold, this is my favorite exercise, is the letter to yourself. Some of you may have already written a letter. However, I would argue that the growth or experiences you've had in the last 3 months may have changed of what you're wanting, or maybe you've already taken time to plan your goals for 2024 and now your perspective is a little bit different. So what we're going to do is you're going to write yourself a future you letter. So, dear Rachel, when I open this January 2 of 2025, I'm so proud of you and this is what you've accomplished. This is what you've overcome. This is the joy you found. These are the things that you've chosen to let go out of your life. And you're gonna go through and you're gonna write yourself a letter. And what we're gonna do is you're gonna put it in this nice little envelope that we've given you. And you're just gonna write your name. And then what I like to do is write future Rachel Watson, 1/2/2025. And we're gonna hold these. And then next year, we're gonna give them to you. And you're gonna be able to see all the cool things that you've been able to do. Now, you may not hit everything on this letter, and there are things that you write in your letter that actually may have changed. And those things you open it, you're like, whoa, I am so glad I dodged that bullet. Here we go. Right? There's everything in life that we go through. However, you'll be able to really reflect on the person that you've developed and you've become. And this is my favorite.
Yeah, it's so fun to open a letter from old you, and just see all of the things, or maybe you had to realign yourself and make some changes, and it's a good time to like think through that again. So this is good stuff.
So what we're going to do is we're gonna give you 5 minutes to write your future letter, and you're gonna put it in your envelope.
With your name.
I'm gonna turn on some fun music.
And then these are gonna
Now,
go in the
if
same.
you're online, here's what we're asking for you to do. If you're online, we want you to write this letter. We want you to do this exercise. We don't want you to just turn off your camera and unplug. We want you to be present. If you're online and you want to type up your letter, feel free to come in the office, print it off and bring it in, or you can email it to one of us. We won't read it. We'll print it off and we'll put it in an envelope for you. But I want everybody online to be just as engaged in this conversation as everybody in this room. So, does anyone have any questions over this? They're already ready.
Let's
Okay,
put some fake music on.
okay, cool. I don't know if I can do this on here.
They have an instrumental.
Well, I was just thinking about putting up my phone. Seconds left. Seconds remaining. If you're not done, that's okay. You can finish it later, but if you're done, put your envelopes in the air and we'll come by and grab them from you.
Guys are aggressive sliders.
Okay, great job, everybody. Everyone taking a breath and just say, I'm awesome. Woo, I'm awesome.
Look at your neighbors. Tell them you're awesome.
You're awesome. Yeah, it's funny. I did this workout class a couple of months ago and it's like super early in the morning and I don't respond well when people just yell at me and they were doing that. Yeah, it's fine. And they're like, everyone go give yourself someone in the neighbor a high five. And I was just like, I'm going this way. Please go give myself a high five. That's how you're feeling it is. Awesome. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that exercise. This is a wonderful exercise to take to your family members. So we did some goal setting within the family and we had everybody write their own letters. And then we had Trey's mom did it, his stepdad, and we're gonna look at them every year together. Mike had a really great idea that whenever he writes he gets his letter and then he writes his new one, he's gonna stuff that one in the same envelope. So it's just like you can continue to read them over and over. So I thought that was a wonderful idea that he did. So if you have any questions regarding that, please let us know, but we hope that you enjoyed this as much as we have. So as we finish out today, there is one thing, bonus material, your DTD2 list is now updated. So DTD2, do the database too. So if I could call the 2 letters of my database. So this week it is A and W and the text letter is N. If I can do that every week, I will talk to my database once a quarter. And Jason Abrams' famous saying is if you don't talk to your database 4 times a year, they shouldn't be in your database. Now it's such a feeling like, they're my people and I don't
Yeah.
call them and talk to
You can't
them.
call them your people anymore if you
Yep,
can't call them
your
4 times
people.
a year.
Yep, so we will also send this out in the weekly newsletter, take a picture of it, but this is a great resource to use. And then as we close, oh, sorry, go ahead. Oh, let me go back. Oh, there we go, here we go. We'll also make sure we post that and get it out for everyone as well. And if you haven't yet, you can start tagging your contacts in Command, and that's how you can sort by your tags to get your letters too. Okay, so tell us some ahas or action items. What did you get out of today's meeting? You know, the dynamic duo starting off the year.
Because you love it.
And if you didn't,
Act
just
like
tell
it.
us you did
Yeah.
for our
You guys did great.
We were more calm. We took a breath before we came in. Normally it's just like, we called it, what do we call ourselves?
Energizer Bunny and Tasmanian Devil.
That's what we referred to ourselves this morning. So what are some action items? What did you take out of today? And anyone online can also comment or talk.
You're all stuck here until somebody sees.
It was nice to bring some clarifying information around what I expect out of 2024.
Oh, good. Love that.
So you were kind of saying that you guys sat down and did the letter thing. And I started this a few years ago, but every year we kind of sit down and say what goals we have for the year coming up. And then we have to post it somewhere in our house where we see it every day. And then we bring that down. We did this last night with my family. And my family has gotten into doing it already. But what was interesting is last night when we were doing it, we had just gotten back and all the kids were wanting to see their friends and stuff. And so we had 7 other kids in the neighborhood all come because, you know, they wanted the friends to be there, whatever. It was so cool because a lot of them had never done it and they were excited. And we went around, we shared what all of our goals were and like everybody was super excited to do it.
I love that.
It was neat. It was neat to see. And so even like we had some that were pretty young. We had a 7-year-old there and even the 7-year-old was participating. I thought it was pretty cool. So I don't know.
And you were more a part of their goals. And if you see them accomplish it, you're like, how cool is this that you were able to accomplish this goal?
One of them hadn't made the basketball team at Cherokee and so made the goal that he was gonna make it in 8th grade.
Wow.
And I said, oh, that is so cool. I said, promise me this, like, even if as you approach it, you're like, ooh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to beat out these other kids, you at least go and you go to that tryout because you can't make the team unless you attend the tryout.
Yeah.
Because there was another boy there that didn't go to the tryout because he's like, these other kids are so much better and they didn't make it, why would I try out?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Showing up can change so much.
Yeah.
There was one time KW, at the very beginning, they had this breakout session at family reunion and only one person decided to show up and Mo Anderson was leading it. And so they got this one-on-one coaching session from Mo Anderson just by showing up. And so even when you feel like, am I gonna be competent enough or what is it gonna be like? There's power in just being there and being in that room, regardless of whatever room it may be.
Like the lead gen room on Mondays.
Exactly.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. Anybody else have any ahas they would like to share? Okay. No? You liked it?
Yeah, I'm gonna invite somebody every single time we have something going on here that I'm coming to, which I'd already set that as a goal, but it just is, if you wanna change somebody's life, just invite them. They don't have to come or send a text and remind them. So yeah.
I think that's, if I could think of a word that our market center needs to have, if I could think of our market center word, it would be connection.
Yes.
For 2024, we need to have so much connection that it brings everybody together.
I would just like to see new faces in here, because we see, for lack of better words, we see the same faces every week, so we need to invite, all of us should have a goal to invite somebody each time, somebody we haven't seen in a while, or somebody that needs this, like you said, Mindy, that needs to be plugged in and needs to be feeling this good.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, where you said somebody we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
It's not always people that aren't already here. Who's falling in the cracks?
Right.
You know, so great point.
That's what I think I hear sometimes people, we actually were in a meeting with a potential agent and they said, well, I don't want to be at a big brokerage. And I said, tell me why. They said, well, I just don't want to be a number. And I said, why would you feel like that? And so it was interesting asking those questions because it could have a stigma. And I said, because we are a large brokerage, we have the means and the people to have this huge collaborative environment, and we have opportunities that most don't have because of our size. And so it was almost challenging the framework of that question of everybody has a name here, everybody has a spot here, and it's getting everybody plugged in and creating that connection and community in our group. So that's why ALC is so important. You know, having our different committees, which connection groups, whatever you want to call them, because sometimes people associate committee with work. So it's just, everybody has a spot here, and it's making sure that if we see them, we invite them. Or anytime someone comes across your mind, reaching out to them.
And speaking of the ALC like connection groups, that's how I got where I am right now, is because an ALC member asked me to be part of their committee. And I got so engulfed in it and so like all about it that I ended up changing where I was going in my career and coming in this direction. So it will change you, not even being on ALC. I was never on ALC, but I was a committee member. So
it's a great point. Okay, well, we hope you had so much fun with us. Thank you for joining us today. Next week, Julie Lachey Israel. Here's a copy of everything. If you need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. And if you have a letter and you didn't give it to us yet, please do. So hope you have an amazing week. Happy New Year.